What's up, folks? What's going on, everybody? We are gonna do a roll call. Let's see who all's here. We got Snowox. We got the Cuban. Cuban was first because Snowox is an employee. Sorry, Snowox, you are an employee. Actually, you know what? You're a coworker. You're a coworker. Ninja's here. Shout out to Ninja. Let's see who else we got in here. We got Will. We got Mongo. We got Mrs. Farmer Joe. Y'all be nice to King. He was putting my chickens away for me. I did put the chickens away. And there was one, you guys know, in the last few days, there's been one chicken that sits at the very top of the entryway to the coop. But then there was a juvenile. For whatever reason, this juvenile chicken decided to run under the coop. And when you go under one side, you got to use the pitchfork and force it or coerce it out of the other side, and it just runs in circles. It was the same one. It was the same. Wow, Master Cock Wrangler. Good Lord. This is a Christian stream. This is a godly stream. Also, I don't know if you can see it here, but I have a pepperoni garlic stuffed crust pizza as well as some garlic bites. So if you're one of those people that has an aversion to someone who is eating, sorry, I have to have dinner. So right now we are streaming on Twitch, Kick, YouTube, and TikTok. We're streaming on TikTok. Let me open the TikTok window. I don't know why I didn't do this already, but probably because I was stuffing my face with pizza. We do have some stream discussion to talk about. And because I have stream discussion to talk about, I also should probably open up. Let's see. We got Lil Pocket Thug. Lil Pocket Thug is here on TikTok. Much love to Lil Pocket Thug. You're the only person here. Let me go to my bookmarks. Actually, I need to prep the green screen. Let's see. What's up, fam? Watching slanging Girl Scout cookies at Walmart. You're doing the Lord's work. You're doing the Lord's work. I'd like 3 boxes of Thin Mints, please. And what are the lemon ones? The lemonades? Are they called lemonades? I think they're called lemonades. All right, let's get the green screen going. We're going to do stream discussion. I'm going to eat my pizza while I'm talking to you. But if you're not already, hop in the Discord, okay? Follow King Pix Media TV and King Pix Media on Instagram and X. And let's get the green screen going. Let's do that. All right, give me 1 second. Let me get set up. All right, I did not adjust the green screen, so you might see, no, it's not bad over there. It's not bad over there. We got a lot to talk about tonight. And by a lot, I mean probably not a lot, probably not a whole lot, but we got some stuff to talk about. So I was not aware until probably about an hour, maybe 2 hours ago. Let's see, I live in Idaho, we don't have that. That there was an active shooter in Richmond, Virginia, in a place called Shockoe Bottom. Which is where a lot of the bars and restaurants. It's a really nice area, or it was a really nice area. But there's a lot of buffoonery that takes place because you guys know anywhere that there's a bar scene or a restaurant scene, a lot of times there's nightlife. And I think early this morning, some guys did some things. I'm assuming they're guys. It might be females. Let's take a look.
Newsroom. Richmond police are investigating after 9 people were shot earlier this morning on North 18th Street in Shockoe Bottom. We're told around 2:45 police were watching a large crowd in the area when they found a man and a woman shot and killed. Another victim is fighting for his life this morning. 6 others in the hospital as well. An investigation is underway, and we will continue to stay on top of this story online and on air for you.
9 that's insane. Honestly, I don't wish death on anybody, but a part of me realizes that this shooting is more than likely in relation to people who are intoxicated and or of the wrong mindset. It could be someone protecting themselves. I don't know. I don't have any of the information on it. And it kind of sucks to start our night on such a sad note. But, these things happen, and it's unfortunate, and I don't know. I don't know if there's any legislation that would really, unless we start persecuting criminals. I know it's a wild thought. But it's something that could be done. B, you're down there, right? You're down there somewhere. I'm going to move this a bit. Ooh, don't judge me. You're down there somewhere. because you always talk about Richmond and you always talk about Green Top, which is a great gun store. Let's see what else we got going on in here. I'm just gonna read it. Virginia professor. Here we go. Virginia again. It's always Virginia. I don't know what is going on with this timeline and why everything comes back to Virginia, but it is what it is. Virginia professor claimed he was the victim of racist attack by a group of white men, but they were just trying to clear snow from their car. Onwubiko Aguzino is a sociology professor at Virginia Tech. He said a group of white juveniles stopped trucks on the street, played loud music he believed was racist, and threw ice blocks onto his property. Police interviewed those involved, and witnesses found no evidence. What incentive is there to be a victim? Oh, that's right. That's right. We coddle to every victim. We give them all of the attention and the all the attention that they want, and it's just nonsense. It's just nonsense. Yeah, so they're outside his house. They're obviously listening to some music. How can someone witness this and say, you know what, this is racist against me? This is racist against me. These people don't like me. How dare they clear ice off of their car? Oh, did you hear it? Please tell me you heard it. Please tell me you heard that. You cannot make this stuff up. We're going to listen to that again. We're going to listen. We got some ambient noise going on. There's a lot going on in the video. You can hear their music. You can hear cars driving by. But there's also something else that you can hear. What's his name? Onwubiko? Come on. Joe would love this. I'm going to have to download this and clip it. It's going to live on YouTube, so he'll be able to see it. That's crazy. That is. All right, so he's playing Drake. I don't know the name. I don't know the name of the song, but he's playing some Drake. I don't think that's racist at all. And they're moving ice off of their truck. You can clearly see them moving ice off of their truck. Ow. This poor professor that doesn't have access to a 9-volt battery. This poor professor. He just wants to live in peace. And he's filming these people who are not even addressing him. They just stopped to get ice off of their vehicle, which we know that there was a lot of snow and ice a few weeks ago. Weird, ice melts. Yeah, who knew? Who knew? Let's see. Spambergler makes Virginia a sanctuary state. Governor Abigail Spambergler just officially ended all cooperation between Virginia State Police and ICE. What is the benefit of this? What is the benefit? Because if state police pulls over someone and they can't be identified, or they're verified that they're a non-citizen without a current visa, what is the benefit of this? We'll see how this plays out. There's a lot of MS-13. There's a lot of people that have come here from Middle Eastern countries, from European countries, from South American countries that are here illegally. There's a lot of that here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And, you know, oh well. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Let's see. Gavin Newsom isn't mincing words. Trump owes families their money back. $1,700 per household. Trump illegally taxed Americans through tariffs. I don't think Newsom is the right guy to be talking about taxing people and taking people's money. I don't think he's the one to do that. How much did California have, or they had that they spent? Was it $20 billion? They spent billions on the high-speed rail. They spent billions on the homelessness problem. High-speed rail hasn't been built. Homeless has increased. So I don't know, the anti-Trump stuff, like, okay, we get it, you're anti-Trump. But let's not focus on the speck in our brother's eye and look at the plank that's in ours.
As it relates to the tariffs were illegal from day one. We were in Fresno. We were the first state. I was the first governor to announce the lawsuit with Attorney General.
I can't stand his hand movements. Bro, stand still. Stand still, bro.
Bonta on the illegal tariffs under the emergency authority that Donald Trump was asserting. Shocking to me that 3 members of the Supreme Court actually agree with Donald Trump. There's nothing in the International Economic Emergencies Power Act that gives the President of the United States unilateral authority to impose a tax increase on ranchers, on farmers.
All right. You don't care. He lost $1 trillion in tax revenue. Wait, Gavin did? Of course he did. Nobody's gonna stay in California. Listen, if Biden did this, he'd be all over it. This is the problem. This is the problem with politics. If the people you like do the things you don't like, you like it. If the people you don't like do things you don't like it. Instead of siding with your party, actually side with the people. Side what's going to benefit the people, not what's going to, oh, Trump's on the Epstein list. You know who else is on the Epstein list? A lot of the other people that hate Trump. They're all wrong. They're all wrong. Anybody on the Epstein list, I disagree with. Because why are you on that list? What are you talking about? You needed a plane? As far as I'm concerned, let's call wrong wrong and right right. But we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Politics is restarted. I agree. Oh, my boy Brandon, listen. Let me tell you something about my boy Brandon. I saw this ad today. And dude is, let's be real. I think Brandon's at 70% in the polls. Brandon, he's going to win. But check this out.
I'm Brandon Herrera, and I approve this message.
Don't let Tony Gonzalez fool you.
He joined
every Democrat in Congress and voted for the January 6th commission to investigate, prosecute, and imprison President Trump.
Ooh.
And he went on CNN to attack real pro-Trump Republicans, smearing them as racists.
These people used to walk around with white hoods at night. Now they're walking around with white hoods in the daytime.
Don't give Tony the chance to stab Trump in the back again. Vote for the Republican who's always had President Trump's back. Brandon Herrera.
The crazy thing is Trump endorsed Gonzalez. I wonder why. Let's see. I want him to win, but I also don't want him to win. I just want him to win. I want him to win. I think Gonzalez has left a trail of destruction, just from what I've seen, just from Brandon's campaign. It's crazy. Let's see. How am I? Okay, I am eating. You're right. I am. I told you I've got garlic bites and then garlic parmesan or garlic stuffed crust pizza. Whatever. What is it? What is this unhinged lady saying? Does she look like the kind of person that's trustworthy? Don't answer that. I'll scrap out from the people's house.
They owe each of us $300K. So I don't care how they get the money. That's not my problem. I just want my money. A debt is owed.
What are you going to do with that money? I don't think that money's going to be spent responsibly. This is obviously a Nissan Altima. Suspended driver's license. No, I'm just kidding. How is 300K the magic number? I need 300K. I need that. Florida House voted 80-30 to abolish all property taxes for homeowners.
Show the bill passes.
Rims. Sorry. 80-30. That's huge. Abolish all property taxes for homeowners. Florida's looking more and more like home every single day. Every single day. All right, let's see. Liberals need to calm down. President Trump is not going to harm gay people, bring back slavery, or strip women of their rights. He's not. I didn't say it. But I'm going to read it again. And I'm not going to say all the words. Hurricanes, I'm not worried about hurricanes. Liberals need to calm down. President Trump is not going to harm gay people, bring back slavery, or strip women of their rights. He is not. I'm not going to say it. Not going to say it because I'm streaming on some very sensitive platforms, and I'm not trying to get banned. Not trying to get banned. Let's actually check TikTok. No comments on TikTok. I have 605 likes on TikTok, but there are no comments here. That's great. That's fantastic. All right, let's see what Bill Maher has to say.
Something about Western civilization. Kids, you don't know what the fuck it is.
Oh.
And no, really, they think Western means white and white means bad. Kids, first of all, everything bad that white people did, people of color did it too. The
It's
Japanese before World War II and during World War II and Genghis Khan, and I could go on and on. You know, the left is very down on America, very down on the West.
Yep.
And it's ironic because the West has also given us everything that makes your life good here. Don't ask Billie Eilish or Chappell Roan about what the Western values are, because they'll just say it's about oppression.
Right.
But it's not about oppression.
He's not wrong.
It's about rule of law. It's about respect for minorities. It's about democracy. It's about scientific inquiry. These are all good things that came from the Western world. I wish that schools would teach that again. I want to, first of all...
He's not wrong. You should probably start proofreading some. I'm not proofreading. Here's the thing. Here's how this stream works. I see something that catches my eye. I put it in the bookmarks. Because I don't want to have a rehearsed reaction. I don't want to read it and ruin the allure or the surprise. I don't want to have a rehearsed reaction. I want to have a genuine reaction. I don't want all the details when I first see it. I want the gist when I see it, and then I'll get the details when I stream, because then I can have a legitimate first-hand reaction. I am not a proofreader. We'll do it live. That's what I do. New York teachers endorse Mamdani. Mamdani raids teachers' retirement funds. Go figure. It's almost like someone said this would happen, and now it's happening. Oh no, LeBron got hurt. If I was 6'8", 270 pounds, that's why we call him LaFlop. He is LaFlop. Let's see. Virginia can't sit by and do nothing as Trump and MAGA governors try to hold on to power and dilute ours.
Congressional district lines ought to be independent and bipartisan, and no one believes that more than me. I was an original member of Virginia's bipartisan redistricting commission, but when Trump orders MAGA governors to rig their maps so that he can hold on to power, we cannot sit by and do nothing. So I'm voting yes on the Fair Elections Amendment. It's a temporary measure that restores fairness now and preserves independent and bipartisan redistricting in the future. Vote yes.
If you have any confidence in your party, you won't worry about, like, Virginia has already been determined to be one of the most bipartisan states. But because some other alleged gerrymandering is happening, they're like, oh, Virginia's like, oh, well, we got to get ahead of this. We got to, since they're promoting such and such, we got to do this. It's very telling because, one, if it's wrong that the other people are doing it, it would be wrong if we did it. I understand the idea behind it. Hey, they're doing it. This is what we have to do to win. If it's wrong for other people to do it, it's wrong for you to do it. And one of the things with communism is you accuse people of doing the very thing that you're doing. I don't know if I saved that in here or not. You accuse people of doing the very same exact thing that you're doing. That's what's going on. Let's see. What do we have here? Caught on camera. Went undercover. NYC Board of Elections. I love a good James O'Keefe video. This is giving me a time to eat a few slices of pizza.
It seemed like before you were about to accept my voter registration form, even though I told you I was a green card holder.
I'm just a green card holder. Like, so you're not going to report me if I do this, because
No. We accept anything that comes over the counter. You know, we have people who come in here and they have legal situations and they register. They weren't a citizen. Boom, boom,
we accept anything that comes over the counter.
Like that happen. Right now, I'm in front of 200 Varick Street in New York City, New York, and inside this building on the 10th floor is an office of the New York City Board of Elections. Now, I'm going to go in there, and I'm going to pose as a non-citizen Canadian green card holder.
I'm a green card holder from Canada.
And I'm just...
Cuban. You're absolutely right. The thing about taking the moral high ground is you usually lose. You usually lose. And the reason for that is because people are stupid. You have to cheat to win. Well, yes, that's true, yes. People with a green card can vote in local New York elections.
I'm just going to see how far I can get in the voter registration process. So let's see what happens.
So I talked to a gentleman before, and he said he could help me with registering to vote. It's my first time. So what do I have to show you guys?
Everything you fill out, you swear in an affidavit that everything you're putting down is true. And
you don't have to show anything?
Fill it out.
Oh, got it. Okay. I'm a green card holder from Canada.
Okay, yeah, you gotta be a citizen. I wouldn't fill it out.
You wouldn't fill it out?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta be a citizen to fill it out.
Notice that he doesn't tell me it would be illegal to complete the application as a non-citizen, only that he doesn't recommend it. From here, things get even more concerning.
The reason why somebody told me that they were a green card holder and that they came in and then they submitted and they were good.
We can't stop you from submitting the application, and if it goes through, but most likely, because they don't do like a full background check, but once in a while, you know, we have people who come in here and they have legal situations and they register, they weren't a citizen, boom, 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 so.
This is a direct admission that non-citizens are in fact...
Why not just say, if you're a non-citizen, we can't register you to vote? Why not say that?
Registering to vote, something that many claim is a conspiracy theory.
All right, here's the deal. To be honest with you, I'm really against everything that's going on right now, and I'm trying to do my part. So, like, do you mind if I fill this out, or like, is it okay with you?
It's up to you. That's like, I can't tell you what to do. If you want to fill it out.
Yeah, but you can tell them what's legal and what's not, right? I mean, that's kind of your job, I would assume.
Fill it out, but everything is clearly stated, especially at this bottom. It says American citizen. So I'm just letting you know, if you fill that out and you're not, you know, if it comes back to you, it comes back to you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But we accept anything that comes over the counter, you know.
But you're not going to report me or something like that?
No, I'm not. No, we don't report anyone. Whoever fills that application out.
What is this dude's job? If he's not reporting anybody, if he's the one giving the information, obviously he's manning the desk. He doesn't have to report anything that's fraudulent. Let's see. This is a bull junk clickbait video. Is it? Is it? Or is it possibly partially what's wrong, pointing out what's wrong with some of the elections and the alleged election fraud? You can attempt to register, doesn't mean he'll be registered. Here's the problem I have, though. I understand what you're saying, and I agree. The problem I have is this guy right here. This guy should say, listen, if you're not a citizen, you can't do this. Because if you do this and I accept it, and I'm audited and it shows that I accepted something after you made the statement that you're not a green card holder or that you are a citizen of another nation, then that's gonna show my higher ups that I'm not doing the job that I'm hired to do, that I'm here to do. So even if he's not ultimately registered as a non-citizen, this guy facilitating it, I can say that that's a problem.
Comes to what?
But I'm just a green card holder. Like, I don't want to get... So you're not going to report me if I do this? Cause
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. That's not my job to report anyone. My job is just to collect the application and put it and submit it to the...
Wait a second, Bing.
Under New York...
Hold on, Bing. I'm not exactly sure where you live. A lot of times people say they live in Richmond, but they're either in Hanover, Henrico, Mechanicsville. What's the other one? There's a few others, and they're not necessarily in Richmond City. The county that I live in, they scan your ID before you vote. You show your ID, verify your information. Henrico? Okay, that makes sense. Henrico is a blue county. You show everything. They verify it, and if you don't have a valid state-issued ID or a real ID, or showing that you live in the county or in the jurisdiction where you're voting, you can't vote. They don't take your ID when you vote. You're cooked.
New York election law Section 17106. Any election officer who willfully violates any provision of the election law relative to the registration of electors is guilty of a felony.
We just got to follow, folks. Relaxing Campfire just followed me. Wait, I recognize that name from somewhere. Thank you so much for the follow. I do recognize that name from somewhere. I think I saw someone posted about it today. I'm not sure. I can't quite put my finger on it, but shout out for the follow. I appreciate it.
It would be a criminal offense for this worker to process my voter registration after I admitted to being a non-citizen.
Can I take this with me? Is that okay?
Yeah, take one of these. Yeah, you take that or, take another.
Okay. But just to be clear, if I do this, you will be able to submit it for me, not a problem.
Yeah, we'll submit it. That's, because
you know me, twin. I knew it was you.
We just collect it, this and that, and that's it.
I knew it was you.
We're going off your word. I mean, if you check off, because at the top will ask you, you're citizen or not.
Wait a second. Joe voted with the wrong address on his license, but had to sign address. Okay, that's fair.
You just check yes.
I couldn't do it. When I first moved here,
we get registrations come to the mail. We
had to get that ID ASAP.
Whatever comes through, we accept, and then it's submitted.
We walked out of the office and ultimately didn't submit any application, as doing so would be illegal. We later returned to try to get more information from this worker. However, when we did so, he seemed to get suspicious of us and consulted a coworker. He then changed his tune and refused to accept our application. Despite this, it seems from our first interaction that this worker was willing to accept my voter registration application when I initially claimed that I was not a U.S. citizen. How many non-citizen voter registration applications has this worker or his coworkers accepted? Why did he suggest he would process my application? We asked him ourselves. Here's what he had to say.
This is the gentleman who was about to accept my voter registration form the first time we went in when I said that I was just a green card holder. Here he is now. He doesn't want to atone for what happened. You mentioned to me that you've had situations where not...
Here's what you say in that situation. If you're that guy. Hey, listen, brother. The information I gave you was wrong. I can't accept anything that comes over the counter. My apologies for any misunderstanding, but what I said back there was incorrect. And it wasn't until I spoke with my coworker, my leadership, that I realized that what I had told you initially was wrong. My apologies, but that's exactly what happened. Boom. Done. Done. But this right here, the walk of shame, he's going to order his Chick-fil-A and bounce and go catch a cab, go catch a bus. One of the free buses in New York from Zohran Mamdani. Oh. You just need your driver's license number? That's crazy.
Non-citizens have registered to vote. Can you tell me more about that? Can you tell me a little more about that? It seemed like before you were about to...
Also, why would you turn away from the mic when the camera is really what you should be turning away from? Don't turn away from the mic and face the camera, because now we know you're you. We know who you are. We know what you're wearing. We know everything about you. He's walking down the street with the #1 from Chick-fil-A. He's got 2 Polynesian sauces and a Chick-fil-A sauce, which is absolutely diabolical to mix the two, by the way.
Accept my voter registration form even though I told you I was a green card holder. How often do things like that happen?
Man, this is
I just
want
want
to
know,
know.
so you were about to accept my voter registration form the first
Val's
time.
here. What's up, Val?
Until upper-level management got involved. How many, if any, non-citizen voter registration forms do you guys process? How often does that happen? Because it seemed to me like you were about to accept my form. Can I get an idea of how commonplace this is? Are you concerned about the integrity of our elections? Can we get your name? Can you tell us any information?
No comment is
we're pretty
wild.
concerned.
You're not going to get a response from him at that point. All right, let's see here.
But out of principle. I'm pursuing this case not out of anger, but out of principle.
Standing outside the federal courthouse in downtown Los Angeles, George Redis and his attorneys from the Institute for Justice announced they have filed a lawsuit against the federal government over what happened to Redis last summer in Ventura County. Last July, while heading to a security job at a pot farm in Camarillo, Redis was detained by immigration agents during a raid.
I'm a United States citizen.
Listen. Okay, I'm going to read it. Let's see. You don't hate the media enough. ABC News, Army veteran detained in Ventura County immigration raid sues federal government. Reality. The Army veteran was guarding a pot farm that used trafficked illegal immigrant children as slave labor. You guys remember this. This took place. This was a big thing in California. I didn't realize it was Ventura. Let's see. He then became violent and refused to comply with law enforcement. He blocked their route, which is obstruction, and refused to move his vehicle out of the road for a CBP. So here's the thing. You can be a soldier. You can be a United States citizen. Doesn't matter if you're Hispanic, white, black. It doesn't matter. Asian, it doesn't matter. If you obstruct CBP, Customs and Border Patrol, as they're making a raid on legitimate illegal migrants, them detaining you is a result of your actions. Them detaining you is 100% within law, within legal regulation. You being detained, it's not them against you. It's saying you obstructed us from doing our job, and now you're detained. A detain is different than an arrest. We know that. He's a cartel citizen with 10 years in Mexico. But how dare ABC News say, oh, he's a United States citizen and a veteran. He was a soldier, and they detained him. Soldiers do stupid stuff. Ask me how I know. I'm a soldier, and I've done stupid stuff, and I might do stupid stuff in the future. Nothing this stupid. But he's actively obstructing law enforcement. Guess what? You're getting detained. He's lucky he didn't get arrested and charged.
And a Iraq combat veteran and a father of two. On July 10th, 2025, I was wrongfully detained and held incommunicado for 3 days and 3 nights. Today, I am formally announcing that I have filed a lawsuit against the United States
Who's
government.
putting him up to this?
Redis's lawyers claim that
You're a
even though
soldier
the
and call a
federal
woman a dude.
government can
Shut up.
assert immunity from any legal action, they filed a lawsuit under what's called the Federal Tort Claims Act that permits lawsuits for false arrest.
I identified myself as a U.S. citizen and a veteran, but that didn't matter.
I begged them to tell me who.
Redis was one of several.
It doesn't matter when you're actively obstructing the law. Dude, and it's California, so guess what? He might actually get rich. He might get unless this goes to Supreme Court. And Supreme Court, you guys know, the Supreme Court, they are party allegiant. They apparently that's the thing, is that they're party allegiant, and they're not necessarily blind to justice and non-justice, or justice versus injustice. He might get a payout.
Several U.S. citizens who testified before Congress on what happened to them when they were detained by immigration agents. With the federal lawsuit filed, the lawyers say it'll take years for the suit to eventually reach the U.S. Supreme Court for a
That's
ruling.
crazy.
We go to the United States Supreme Court and try to get the United States Supreme Court to say that people should be allowed to sue federal officials.
We reached out to the Department of Homeland Security for comment on the lawsuit. So far, we
No
have
comment.
not heard back from the agency.
That's crazy. All right, let's see. So let's see. Northern Virginia justice, a man murdered Gret Glyer. A man murdered Gret Glyer, execution style, shot him 10 times as he slept next to his wife. Kids in the next room. Murderer wrote it down. The plan. Murderer wrote it down. The plan. Steve Descano and staff jerk victim's family around for 3 years. Take a flimsy insanity plea. Send murderer to a mental health facility where he would be evaluated and eligible for release soon. And over, each time potentially free and dangerous again. That's crazy. And Nick Freitas, my buddy Nick, says, and Fairfax will vote for Steve Descano again just as soon as they get a chance. The left hates civilization. That's crazy. Honestly, any kind of premeditated murder, I don't think insanity should apply. If it's premeditated and you've literally written out a plan, Freitas should have run for governor. I know. This is a good video.
I would say get your board in the water and prepare to paddle like all get out. The tsunami of a lifetime is coming, and nothing your elders have seen is going to prepare. There's no good advice to give that's specific. Let's put it this way. One of the things...
This sounds so dark. I like Winsome, but Nick had better recognition. Here's the thing about Winsome, though. I get it. Winsome is conservative. She did not run a good campaign. Max is here. What's up, Max? I don't think like the photos of her holding an AR. I don't like photos of politicians that clearly have no business holding it. I get it. She was a Marine. Every Marine's a rifleman. Just kidding. No, they're not. But don't pose with holding the AR not knowing how to hold the AR. Don't try to be something you're not. Be very real. Address the opposition and go from there. Winsome, I'm sure she's a great person. She is a great person. She migrated here. She served her country. She was in the military. She was lieutenant governor. She's done a lot of great things. But come on. Nick is a smart dude. And honestly, Mrs. Farmer Joe, he doesn't live too far from us. I've actually, he was at the farmers thing that y'all went to. Was it last year? She's an immigrant. Great. Fantastic. But this video gets it's kind of dark, but it's kind of true.
People tell me about their moving from one city to another. I have a phrase that nobody likes, which is every place is over. Oh, I'm moving to Austin. Yeah, it's over. Miami, it's over. Nashville, over. You know, all these places are over. And every occupation that is named is over. I'm going to be a dentist, radiologist, accountant.
It's over.
Teacher. These are all over. Whatever's coming, get flexible. Get good. Get good on a bunch of different stuff. Learn how to think across disciplines. I have no idea what's going to be left for us. But you know, somebody's going to come out on top. And I hate to tell people that you should try to come out on top.
You should. I work construction. We're still going to be working. That's true. Construction is one train that's never late. Let's see. Tax the rich leave. Celebrate the rich leaving. The government still needs revenue. The tax base shrinks. You're now the richest person in the room. Raise taxes elsewhere. You now have to pay a lot of taxes. Meltdown. Say socialism wasn't done the right way, and try again. I do like this video.
The mayor, with the greatest respects, in every campaign speech, in every debate where you engage, we opened our ears to listen. Now today, accept the words echoing from us now. Do your job as mayor and leave our taxes out.
We're 30 days in, folks. 30 days in. We are 30 days in. And this has already taken place.
Mayor, and leave our taxes out.
Saving only two options. You're saying if we don't tax the rich, then I got to increase property taxes. We are not a pawn in Southeast Queens. We are not part of your negotiation tactics. Zoran Mondani, you are out your goddamn mind.
Mayor, with the greatest respects.
That's. I mean, we would notice that every example of socialism, you're done. Listen, I do recognize that, and Nick, or Fat Electrician, you can put name drop in the chat. He has a very good explanation for it regarding making a cake. The recipe was built by someone who's never made a cake. I'm going to see if I can find it for tomorrow. I'll see if I can find it for tomorrow because I can't, I'm not going to quote it. All right. Tom Homan had the perfect one-liner. I love Tom Homan's responses.
If we're not going to go back to pre-2002 in looking at how these agencies used to operate without this level of brutality that we are seeing, then we need to figure out a different system.
When we get power back, we have to dismantle them. And we can go back to immigration enforcement.
I'm just going to say, I don't like this lady. I don't like her. I think she would be great working with children and great kind of, if her job was to communicate bad news to children, I think she'd be great at it. But her outlook, she doesn't like you either. Oh, I know. Let's see. I don't know if you can talk about shooting people and bringing their house down over there. Wow. Wow, Rusty. Thank you so much.
As a civil system, because that's what it is.
What do you make of that? Well, I'm sure Omar would love for ICE to go away, right? Because she has her own issues. Right. But bottom line is, think about this. Members of Congress want to abolish the Department of Homeland Security that was established after the tragedy 9/11, right? And they want to abolish the agency that enforces the laws that they wrote, right? But they want to attack us and call them racists and Nazis and the secret police.
I will say this. It's not racist to desire a sovereign nation. Especially considering every nation is sovereign, has a certain level of sovereignty. It's not racist to desire a sovereign nation. I feel like socialism. I didn't make that. Don't hang that one on me. I'm not.
Well, if we're the Nazis for enforcing the immigration law, what's that make them? They wrote the law. So look, we're doing the same thing we've done for 40 years. I started in 1984. We're enforcing the immigration law. Problem is, for the last 4 years, they weren't enforcing the immigration law. Every one of them are complicit because they didn't say anything about the open border. Over 10 million people illegally crossed that border. We got over, 2 million known gotaways. We got a record number of terrorists and criminals coming across that border. A record number of sex trafficking of women and children. Enough fentanyl to kill 250,000 Americans. Over 4,000 aliens died making that journey. And where were they? They weren't saying a word. They're complicit. Nope. We're fixing what they broke.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. All right, I did read over this one. This one is interesting. Casey Neistat, you guys may or may not know from the guy who essentially made vlogging a thing, Casey Neistat. He says, so our cars got robbed this morning, which is wrong because a vehicle or a house cannot be robbed. Robbery is from a person. Now, I don't know what the statute reads in California, but generally, robbery is from a person. If I break into your house and you're there and I say, give me all your stuff, robbery. If I break into your house and no one's home and I take your TV, that is breaking and entering to conspiring to commit larceny. So, little legal lesson for the day. So our cars got robbed this morning because Los Angeles is a crime-riddled third world poop hole of a city, but a tremendous appreciation and gratitude to the hardworking officers at LAPD who not only arrested the people, but they got all of our stolen goods back. Seth Rogen responds, dude, I've lived here for over 20 years. You're nuts. It's lovely here. It's lovely here. Don't leave anything valuable in the car. It's called living in a big city. To which Casey responds, I can still be mad though, right? I feel so violated. You can be mad, but I guess I don't personally view my car as an extension of myself, and I've never really felt violated with any of the 15 or so times my car was broke. 15 times his car was broken into. Once a guy accidentally left a cool knife in my car, so if it keeps happening, you might get a little treat. Listen, there is a way that seems right to man, but in the end leads to death. And ultimately, come on. Oh, cheer up, pal. I've been robbed. My car's been broken into 15 or so times. And I got a knife out of it, which that knife at that point is evidence. So you don't get the knife. The police department gets the knife. Why is this guy telling this guy that having your car broken into is not that bad? It's lovely here. Why is this guy saying something that's bad, painting it as something that's bad as good? Why is he doing that? What does his early life say on Wikipedia? It's Canadian, right? Seth hasn't been funny since 2007. I wouldn't know that. Oh, I don't even think I can watch this. Odell Beckham made $100 million. Let's be real. With endorsements in his contract, he made $100 million. And he said that that's not enough to build generational wealth. Meanwhile, I'm over here. I've got some debt. I got some kids to pay for. Honestly, I've never made $1 million. And if I did, I don't know if I'd be in his shoes, but I guarantee I would not. He's talking about flaunting, going to the club, buying a chain, all this stuff that doesn't matter. If I got $1 million today, there's 3 things I would do right off the bat. Pay off debt, buy my wife a car, and buy a house, and with land. Those 3 things would be primary. Everything else, I can live, my family can survive off of just under 6 figures. My family can survive off of that. Imagine if I get $1 million today and I'm taxed at 40% and I take home $600,000. At that point, I'd probably just buy a house and some land and pay off debt. I wouldn't worry about a car. But let's be real here. $100 million and you can't create generational wealth? I don't buy it.
Chicago, we was gonna cut up how LA did, or how Minneapolis did.
Oh, let me read this. Well, I'm not gonna read it because you guys are just roasting my reading. They're not protesting ICE in Chicago because the Venezuelans came in and got a ton of free stuff, got a ton of benefits that the citizens were not getting.
I really thought when ICE came to Chicago, we was gonna cut up how LA did, or how Minneapolis did. But y'all wanna know the reason why I feel like Chicago didn't cut up like that?
Yeah.
And I'm choosing to do one of my political science papers on this for South America.
Let me just say this before I let this young queen speak. If your eyelashes look like this, generally I won't listen to anything you have to say. If your eyelashes look like you have Glock mags on your eyelids, I know that somewhere in your house you need a 9-volt battery or two. And I know there's probably a Nissan in the driveway, 25% APR, and you're 6 months behind on your car payment. I'm just saying.
And I'm gonna do it on the mass migration of Venezuelans to Chicago. I feel like that migration desensitized like the city to immigrants. Like we didn't feel bad about them not speaking English because the Venezuelans, they came here by the boatload. And not only did they come by the boatload, they was getting hella money in link, holding up the A offices. Man, y'all, I was working in security in the A office. When I say it was such a big difference from what the A office looked before they came and when they came, they come now getting $3,000-$4,000 on link and cash.
So if you don't know what Link is it's a card. It's a government issued card. It's like an EBT card. Link is what they have in Chicago.
They getting all type of aid from the government. Meanwhile, citizens, real citizens who pay taxes, was sitting there damn near begging for $100 a month in Link. Like, you get what I'm saying? Man, y'all know black people talk shit, so everybody in the office, because it's two separate lines for the immigrants.
All right, I get it. You can't understand what she's saying. I've summarized it. We've had enough of the eyelashes. Did we watch this one? I don't think we watched this one.
This administration cannot be trusted, and they can be trusted to hold themselves accountable. Even after the killing of Alex Pretty and Renee Good, they didn't want to share information about what was happening, which is why we have to abolish ICE. We have to abolish the Customs and Border Patrol.
He's really changed the way he speaks. He went from talking like MLK to now talking like you and me.
In the way they currently exist, and replace them with something that actually does the work that we need for them to do, which is why we need.
What are we going to replace ICE with? Hey, let's get rid of ICE and come up with something that's not going to enforce immigration and customs? Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Need a Congress that works and that is
What work
effective
is that, by the
at
way?
holding these people in this administration accountable. I'll tell you what the work is not. The work is not killing American citizens.
You said the work we
in
need
our
them to
community.
do. I'm interested in your opinion. What is
Absolutely.
the work that we need them to do?
Absolutely. One, the work is not killing American citizens.
No,
It's
what
not
is the
going
work we
into-
need them to do?
Well, first, let's look at what they don't need to do. They don't need to go into communities like Memphis,
Do they need to
Tennessee.
deport illegal?
They don't need to do the things that I don't like. Is it weird that I understood her just fine? No, that's not weird. It's not weird because I also understood her just fine.
Where they're currently terrorizing
need
and
to deport
traumatizing
illegal
our
aliens?
communities. What we also need
Can
to
you
make
say
sure
it?
is that we have elected
you
officials who
say
are
it?
creating a pathway of opportunity for people who are currently undocumented.
Do
Because
we
the truth
need
of
a
the matter
federal
is,
law enforcement agency to deport illegal aliens, yes or no?
we do need a federal law enforcement agency that deals with immigration, that doesn't kill people.
He needs to just say yes at that point. He needs to say yes.
Illegal aliens,
What we
yes
do
or no?
also need is laws that make sure that people
Is
who
there
are
a single illegal alien
undocumented-
that you would deport?
You know, this is what I
Name
want you to focus
one.
on.
Is
This
there
what I want
one?
you to focus on. There are a lot of people in this country and
One.
in this community, in our communities,
there one?
that have done so much to make them better, and we need to be prioritizing.
Listen, if you're going to acknowledge the people that make our communities better, you have to also flip that coin and acknowledge the people that make our communities worse. Crime, theft, violence. You have to acknowledge that. There are a lot of people. I've seen it. I witnessed it firsthand. There are people that make our communities fantastic. But there are people that are doing things that are detrimental to the sovereignty of this nation and our communities. And if you think I'm wrong, well, you're wrong. You're wrong. And I'm not saying that it's just the migrants. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that there are criminals that need to be held accountable. 100%. I had the thought full stop, but I hate that phrase. Full stop. think it's all the grape echelon I've been drinking. It probably is.
The answer
we
is
create
no.
opportunity and
Is this the
access for
Democratic
them
position
to
for
be there.
26?
The
That there are
Democratic
no
position
illegal
in
aliens that should be
26
deported?
The Democratic position in 26 is that we don't terrorize American citizens. We don't terrorize undocumented
If you were
people,
advising
and we
Democrats in
don't kill
26, would you?
people.
But here's also another side of that coin. If ICE and other law enforcement agencies are definitively terrorizing communities, that means that there are also other groups that are terrorizing our communities. Criminals are terrorizing. If you want to say, if I say, you know what, I know for a fact there are bad cops, there are bad ICE agents, there are people who just fly off the handle, they go from 0 to 100 way too fast, they won't de-escalate. I can say that there are citizens who do the very same thing. But if you're willing to acknowledge one side and not the other, Will, you're wrong. You are wrong.
Advise them to
Alex
answer this
Brady
question
and
this
Renee
way,
Good.
that you can't say there is a single illegal alien that should be deported by the federal government.
What is shocking to me is that you think you can narrow the challenges of
It's not narrow, it's broad.
immigration,
There's 20
that
million
you can
here.
challenge the issues of immigration into one yes or no question when the reality is the policies and practices
should we follow
of
the law?
this-
It's not the issue. It's not the issue that's being whittled down to a yes or no question. It's the broad spectrum. It's the broad spectrum. Are there people that are here illegally in violation of federal law? Yes. Are those people who are here illegally in violating federal law, are they committing crimes? Yes. Should they be deported? Yes. That's not saying that there aren't citizens committing violent crimes, because we all know. I was out till the bucket is empty. Jeez. I swear, fine deporting people under Obama. They did. Well, not fine, because there was a U.S. citizen that was detained for 3 years. 3 years.
Administration have led to the deaths of American citizens and has not produced the results that
No deportations. That's the Democrat.
So anything that leads to the death of American citizens is wrong. Anything that leads to the death of American citizens, whether it's criminals that are citizens, whether it's people who are here illegally that are non-citizens, whether it's rogue police officers, people that contribute to the killing of innocent U.S. citizens, are wrong. Start there. Start there. It is what it is. I did not watch this one. Let's see. Somali community in Minnesota is now demanding reparations over... Listen, we're scared, so give us money. They're demanding reparations?
Leave background fits into our criteria.
Yeah, I'm not listening to this. I'm not listening to this lady talk. All right, we're back. We're right back where we were last night. I'm not even going to go into stream discussion. Actually, let's go to my profile. I did. That's from last night's stream. Look at these stickers, guys. I'm going to put this in the chat. My buddy, let's see. Can I copy? Yeah, no, just copy link. My buddy has these stickers. You know, I did see some of Tucker Carlson. I think that'll be more for tomorrow. That'll be more for tomorrow. But you guys know Adam, aka Error 404 No Aim, aka Relaxing Campfire. These stickers are up now. Get a handful of them. Get you some and enjoy them. Let's see what else we got on here. How's the situation looking? Grim. Lucas Botkin, fix my Gen 6 Glock 17 today. I don't know if you guys saw what he did to his Gen 6 Glock 16, but it was diabolical. It was absolutely diabolical. All right, we're right back to where we were. So we are going to... Snox, you already know what game we're playing. I watched the whole thing. I was starting Garden Seeds. Not sure what to think about it. Mike Huckabee is absolutely wrong. He's 100% wrong. Where is Discord? Is this it? Yeah, here it is. Here it is. Let's get Snowox in here. He's already in here. Great. We're gonna play.
I'm assuming you're playing Ark, you idiot.
Yeah, we're gonna play Ark Raiders. But here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to end the YouTube chat or the YouTube stream. For everyone consuming this content on YouTube, head over to King Pix Media on Twitch. Hop in the Discord. I do this every day, but I'm not. I'm not. The rest of the stream is going to be on Twitch and TikTok. So. Best way to support the channel, head over to kingpixmedia.com. Click the merch drop down. I've got all kind of discounts and links there. I've got CSGI merch and all the good stuff. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Really?
YouTube is over with. Will you